Hey guys, wanted to bring you another video of a football life on the NFL Network with Earl Campbell. And so there was some interesting things. The thing is, I can only go based on this documentary and the highlights that you could see in the past on NFL films. And so because he actually played way before I was actually born, or most of the people I work with too. So based on what I gathered, this is what I thought was interesting about the documentary. Or if I had to sum it up in one sentence, I would have to say great career that took big punishment and now paying for it. And I'll go on why. So his body broke down because of how he played. He obviously, you could tell by the highlights, he ran over a lot of people and broke tackles that way. I mean, if he did not run over one or two guys, you would be surprised. And so when he was growing up, the thing is, he didn't really have a dad, and that he wanted to make it to the NFL to get his family out, and told his mom that he's going to make it to the NFL to be able to build that nice house for her and take care of her. Originally, he wanted to be like Dick Buckets and be a linebacker, but the high school coach, wanted him to play running back, and he actually enjoyed it from that point on, and wanted to play running back from that point. And he actually, after high school, he actually went to the Texas Longhorns. And when he was there, he didn't really have money again, and so his girlfriend was actually helping him financially, giving him support that way, and helping take care of any ends to get through college. So he was considered 25 pounds overweight when he was in college playing for the head coach there. And so one game that was memorable, that I thought was impressive, he played on 104 temperature on a flu, and so he actually ended up playing that game and was still pretty effective. So that shows you how tough he was. In 1977, he won the Heisman. 78 draft, he was traded. So Tampa Bay had the draft, owned the first pick, and then traded to Houston Oilers, and which was surprising. I guess Houston Oilers traded up to get Earl Campbell. And watching the highlights, he was amazing on how many guys he ran over in the NFL, how he broke tackles and stuff like that. It was just, he was a workhorse. I would say, for me, in my time and era, reminded me a little bit of Jerome Bettis in that sense. The bus, yeah. 2 years in a row, he won MVP, but could not get past the Steelers. Always got in the way on trying to get to the Super Bowl, where it's the Steelers. The head coach, Bum Phillips, was gone, and they brought in Warren Moon, and you could tell that they were going to a different direction with, I believe they were hiring Buddy Ryan to replace. And obviously, with Warren Moon, he's more of a passer, so you could tell that they were going to get rid of Campbell or do something with him, limit his touches and stuff. But they were obviously going to pass more with Warren Moon, and that was going to be built around on that type of offense. So Earl Campbell got traded to the Saints and was reunited with Bum Phillips there. So that means, again, Phillips, I mean, just like he really loved him, was that father figure for Earl Campbell, did anything he could to have Earl with him. He did not look like the same player in the Saints. And then the one time he finally looked really great was in November 24, 1985, played against the Vikings, and then had a really great game for him. All those previous games, he did not have a good game for the Saints. Bum ran him 35 times, 165 yards, and we didn't know why, because previous games he had 14 carries for the Saints, averaging. Then the next day, Bum resigns from the Saints, and that was a shocker for him. So he was like, oh, does that mean my time's coming up? Is something going to happen? I mean, the new regime, new coaches, that might mean something. So he was booed on the last game of the season because the guy behind him hit the ball out of his hand, and he was slowing down at the 10-yard. He broke the in between the lines, and there was looks like 3 or 4 guys chasing him, and one of the guys swat out of his hand on the back and was able to recover at the end zone. So at that point, Earl Campbell figured, I think it's time for me to retire. I slowed down when there was a clear path for me. If I was younger, I would have got a touchdown. But obviously, it looks like it's my time. So after his career, he was doing more as a business. So he was a businessman in his sausage business with hot links and stuff like that. He had 4 back surgeries. He had a lot of surgeries on his knees too. And then they also said he had spinal stenosis, and I guess it's something with your spine where it hits your nerves, and it could be very painful, where he thought about suicide too, but he had an uncle that did that, and he didn't want to be that type of person to be a coward. That's what he said. So he didn't go through with it and kept charging and fighting through this. He had 5th back surgery from a different surgeon, and that was the last one, and it corrected it so far. But he's on a wheelchair still most of the time, but he could at least now somewhat walk. So he did an autograph session in Cleveland when his mom was dying, and he told his son that his mom would have wanted him to keep working and keep going. So that's why he didn't go back home in Texas to be with his mom when she's on her last days here. So after that, he started mixing painkillers and alcohol together, and I guess his son saw it and thought this was not right and not good for him, and kind of gave the example of Michael Jackson when they gave that talk. So his son said, we don't want you going through this path. You need some help, and we're going to try help you, because we don't want you being like the same scenario as Michael Jackson. So Earl Campbell is thankful to his sons every day and said, I don't need a birthday gift anymore because you saved my life. So that's a heartfelt story right there. And he said he doesn't want anybody to feel sorry for him at the end of the documentary. So I thought it was kind of interesting in that sense. Go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe for this review. I thought it was a pretty good, heartfelt story. Kind of sad, but great player for his generation era. Thanks.